Hey guys, welcome to Speed Tips from my garage. We're going to talk about deceleration today. I got 4 techniques we're going to work on. The first one's going to be a split step, or some people call it a jump stop. If I'm a basketball player, we typically say jump stop. Tennis, other sports, we might say a split step. But I actually like split step better because it tells my athletes to stay low and split their feet versus a jump stop, which young athletes tend to actually jump in the air, which we don't want. We just want them to split their feet. So here's the techniques that we're looking at. If I'm going straight ahead and I'm going to do a jump stop or a split step, and I have a little bit of speed, I want to actually land on my heels and then kind of roll towards the balls of my feet. So it looks like this. And then I hit forward. So as I land, I hit on my heels, roll my momentum forward, and then load the ankles by getting on the balls of my feet. If I go straight to the balls of my feet when I'm moving fast, sometimes I do what we call jamming, and we jam, and we end up either maybe losing our balance, but at worst, we end up kind of rolling our ankles because we're unstable when we go straight ahead like that. And we also jam our toes into the front of our shoes, which hurts. So we kind of hit on the balls of our feet. That helps us a lot. The reason we want to do a split step is because we're reading the play in front of us, or a jump stop. I don't know where I'm going yet until something happens. Okay, if I'm playing tennis and I'm volleying or I'm ready to return to serve, I split step, I read, and then I react and I go. So that's the deceleration move of a jump stop or a split step. The next one we call an angled stop. This would be, probably to describe it best, would be a shuttle run type of a turn. So if I'm running at you and I'm going to turn towards my right, I'm going to plant like this and then I'll run back off it. Okay, that deceleration move that I just made, 2 key things. Number 1, I want to make sure my foot is wider than my knee and my hip and my shoulder. If my shoulder gets outside my foot or even my knee, we call that shoulder sway, it really detracts from how good of a foot plant I had. Okay, so a great foot plant can be ruined by the shoulders when we're doing this angled stop. The second thing that I want to make sure that I do is I always have my ankle bone and my hip bone facing the same direction as much as possible. Sometimes it might be a little bit off, but what I don't want to do is turn my foot and have my hip turned here. You can just see how much torsion I have on my knee. So we make sure the ankle bone and the hip bone, and then we drive off. Okay, so that is an angled stop. The third one is what we call a shuffle stop. Sounds just like it is. If I'm playing basketball or volleyball and I'm shuffling and I have to stop, I want to, again, make sure my foot is wider than my knee, my hip, and my shoulders. Now, the other thing that's really important with a shuffle stop, because it's such a quick action, is I want to make sure that I'm dorsiflexed in the ankle by driving my knees forward, my hips back, that protects my knees, and then my shoulders forward, which protects my hips. So now when I make a shuffle stop, I'm in a great position to be able to re-accelerate and move out of it. All right, the fourth one really has 2. It's a lunge stop and a backwards lunge stop, okay, or reverse lunge stop. So when I do a forward lunge stop, I'm running forward and I'm going to stop. A couple things I want to make sure that I do. Number 1, talked about this with a split step, is I go heels first, roll forward so that I have a less of a jamming hard impact. I kind of can take the load and then roll to the front of my foot. Second thing that I want to do is I always want to be pitched forward at the hip. So when I come here, I want to be forward. I don't want to be vertical because I've lost my hips then. My hips get sucked underneath me. I don't want that. I want to be behind me so I can turn on the posterior chain, use my quads really well, but I got to use the backside musculature as much as I can to help me to not kind of fall over, all right? So again, it looks like this. I come up, and then I stop quick, and then I read, and then I'll make my decision from there. The next one, which is kind of like 4A and 4B, would be my reverse lunge stop. So now I'm backpedaling, and I stop, same thing. I want to be pitched forward so my posterior chain is turned on, and then I can quickly accelerate out of that if I have to. I can brake, and I can even come towards you, or I could brake and I can go the other way. The back foot will do 2 things, one of 2 things. If I'm not going very fast, I'll get a vertical heel position, I can drive off that. But if I'm going faster, sometimes you'll see what we call a T-step. So if you look at me this way, I have the T-step and then I open, but you notice when I do my T-step, my ankle bone and my hip bone face the same direction. So watch this. I come here, T-step, ankle, and hip, same direction, and then I drive off it. The reason for that is because my foot is bigger when it's sideways like this versus on the balls of the feet. So maybe my body just needs more ground contact to help in that deceleration, okay? Hey, there you go. Speed tips from my garage. We'll be back again with more speed tips.